Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be walking through how to resurrect an N64 cartridge whose board has been damaged beyond repair. We're going to be fixing this copy of Mario Kart 64 that has missing pins on the circuit board. These have corroded away over time and can't be reliably fixed. Now the main chips on the other parts of the board are still in good shape, which is why we were able to do this. As long as these are still intact, this fix should work. But as with many cartridge games, the pins can be damaged, making them unusable. So we'll need a replacement. This copy of NHL 99 uses the exact same circuit board type as Mario Kart. All we need to do is swap in the parts from one to the other. The other bonus is, since this is a yearly release sports title, there are a lot of copies available. You can typically pick these up for much cheaper than whatever game you're looking to fix too. These pins are nice and clean, and the donor board looks to be in great shape. Here are both of the boards side by side. Notice the top edge has the part number of the board listed there. This can change from game to game, and if you need to look up what other boards you can use as donors, here's a handy online forum that lists all of them, called the N64 Board Scan Repository. This site can help you find a match for any game as long as the boards were used between multiple titles. But after the donor board has been confirmed to match, you also need to match all the components too. In this case, we will need an extra resistor from our original board and this other smaller chip too. I would highly recommend taking some photos before you start this process, since you can confirm which part is which and the orientation each part goes in if you happen to forget. But you can also check the tops of the main chips to see which game is on each. This code is typically printed on the front of the cartridge label and should match the chip so you can tell what it is. First up is the test your donor board to make sure it is fully functional. Once that is confirmed, start by removing all the parts from each of the boards. This is an easy process if you're familiar with desoldering, but be sure to be quick about moving around the chip legs. If you stay in one location for too long, the traces can be affected and they can start to come loose from the board. You don't want to be causing additional issues that you have to fix later on, especially if they can be avoided now. But once all the parts are off each of the boards, check to make sure each of them will fit into place on the donor board and clean it up with some IPA to get ready for the reinstall. I added the smaller chip and the resistor back first, but it doesn't really matter what order you get all the parts reinstalled in, just as long as the solder joints look good and they are pressed firmly in place beforehand. Check your joints to make sure nothing was missed and test it out. This one didn't boot up immediately for me, but worked well on the second try. I ended up playing through the whole race set just to make sure nothing was wrong with it, but it worked great the entire time. Even placed first at the end, but that's not too hard for the Mushroom Cup. Now on to doing some quick cleaning. Unfortunately, the shielding on this copy of Mario Kart is a bit rusty and I can't use the one from the NHL 99 because it's a different form factor. But I can use the screws. These look to be in much better shape than the Mario Kart ones, as did the outer case screws too. So both of these were swapped out. But even though it looks good and is all sealed up, the outside still looks pretty nasty. To remove those extra sticker parts, I used some Goo Gone and carefully went around the main labels, making sure to not get any of that on them. Then followed it up by a good cleaning with some glass cleaner. To remove the dirt inside of the little cracks, I used the tweezers and scraped them out with the same piece of paper towel too. Overall, I'm very happy how this turned out, and I hope this helped you with one of your projects as well. If you're looking for tutorials on how to fix up some of your other consoles or games, be sure to check out the other videos on my channel. And as always, thanks for watching. We'll see you next fix.